The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the impossible readings scrolled across their holographic displays. Counselor Vextar, a towering crystalline being from Kepler 442b, was the first to speak. This cannot be accurate. Earth's star system has been empty for a millennium. But the sensors didn't lie. Sol 3, the blue marble that had vanished without explanation exactly 1,000 years ago, had returned to its precise coordinates in the Orion arm. And it wasn't alone. Sophia pressed her palm against the cool glass of the observation deck, watching the alien fleet materialize around Earth's orbital defense grid. Her dark eyes reflected the starlight of a galaxy that had aged 1,000 years in what felt like mere moments. "They're hailing us," Dylan said from the communications console, his fingers dancing across holographic controls that would have seemed like magic to their ancestors. 16 different species, all of them demanding answers. Sophia turned to face her co-commander, a slight smile playing at her lips. "I suppose they want to know where we've been." "Where we've been?" Dylan laughed, the sound echoing in the vast command center of humanity's flagship. "The resilience. More like what we've become." The truth was something the galaxy wasn't prepared for. When the Nexus anomaly had engulfed Earth's solar system, humanity had faced a choice: extinction or evolution, trapped in a pocket dimension where time moved differently. Where the laws of physics bent to accommodate the impossible, humanity had done what it always did best. They adapted. The first contact meeting took place on neutral ground, an ancient space station that predated most galactic civilizations. Sophia and Dylan materialized in the conference chamber, their quantum transport technology leaving the alien delegates visibly unsettled. Humans, Ambassador Kreenoth, a serpentine Vraxian, hissed with barely concealed disdain. "You were classified as a pre-warp species, primitive, yet you arrive with technology that defies our understanding." Sophia clasped her hands behind her back, her posture relaxed but commanding. 1,000 years is a long time, Ambassador. We made good use of it." "Impossible," barked General Thex, his forearms crossing over his armored chest. "Our civilization has studied dimensional anomalies for 10,000 years. Nothing enters a nexus field and returns. Nothing." Dylan stepped forward, his easy smile never wavering. "Then I suppose we're the first. Humans have a habit of doing the impossible." The chamber erupted in protests and accusations. The gathered species, some predatory, some prey, all ancient compared to humanity, couldn't accept what stood before them. How could a species that had barely touched its own moon now command technology that made their greatest achievements look primitive? Sophia raised her hand and the room fell silent. She hadn't used any external force, hadn't threatened or intimidated. She had simply asked for quiet, and millions of years of evolutionary instinct in every species present recognized an apex predator when they saw one. "We understand your confusion," Sophia said, her voice carrying across the chamber with preternatural clarity. "For you, we vanished yesterday. For us, we lived through 1,000 years of isolation, trapped in a dimension where survival meant transcendence." Dylan pulled up a holographic display. Images flickered to life. Vast cities that bent space itself. Ships that traveled through folded reality. Humans whose lifespans had been extended through biological and technological augmentation. "We didn't just survive," Dylan explained. "We thrived. We took every challenge that pocket dimension threw at us. Hostile physics, temporal paradoxes, dimensional predators. And we conquered them all. Because that's what humanity does. We don't give up. We don't surrender. We evolve." "This is a threat," Counselor Vextar stated flatly. "You return with weapons beyond our comprehension, claiming 1,000 years of advancement. How do we know you won't use this power against us?" Sophia's expression softened. "Because we remember what it was like to be afraid, to be alone in the dark, wondering if we'd ever see our son again. We don't seek dominance, Counselor. We seek partnership. And if we refuse?" General Thex demanded. "Then we'll leave you alone," Dylan said simply. "We don't need the galaxy's permission to exist, but we'd prefer to exist alongside you rather than apart from you." It was the confidence in his voice that truly unsettled them. Humanity wasn't asking to rejoin the galactic community. They were offering an invitation to join humanity's new reality. The negotiations lasted for weeks. The galaxy had to recalibrate its entire understanding of power dynamics. Species that had ruled for millennia now found themselves face to face with a civilization that had compressed epochs of evolution into a single, brutal millennium. Sophia and Dylan became the faces of humanity's return, neither seeking glory nor avoiding responsibility. They shared technologies freely, but only to those who proved they would use them wisely. They defended smaller species from predatory empires, enforced peace in disputed territories, and slowly, deliberately, began reshaping the galactic order. Not through conquest. Through example. "Do you think they'll ever truly accept us?" Dylan asked one evening as they watched Earth rotate below them, green and blue and impossibly beautiful. Sophia considered the question, her enhanced mind processing countless variables and possibilities. "They don't have to accept us. They just have to respect what we've become, and more importantly, what we chose not to become." "And what's that?" "Monsters." She turned to face him, her expression serious. "We had 1,000 years in technology beyond imagination. We could have returned as conquerors. Instead, we chose to return as hope." Dylan nodded, understanding. That was humanity's true achievement. Not the technology, not the power, but the choice to remain human despite having every reason to become something else. The galaxy would never be the same. Earth's return had shattered every assumption, every carefully maintained balance of power. But in the centuries that followed, historians would note that humanity's greatest contribution wasn't their technology or their military might. It was their unwavering belief that even in the darkest isolation, even facing impossible odds, the answer was never to give up. It was to become stronger, wiser, and better than they were before, because that's what humans do. They survive. They adapt. They transcend, and they never ever stop being human. The end.